Whoa, NASCAR.
Yeah, short track racing.
After waiting for so long to do this, I'm finally getting around to it. The 2019 season recap. We're going to recap as much as we can of the NASCAR season, talk about the season itself, the racing, the storylines, and anything else that had to go with it. I'm just going to go through the schedule, see what I can remember, just the big things. Some of it I'll talk more about, some of it I'll just blow through. If I miss anything, please tell me in the comments. I'll go more into it if you want me to. No plans on videos, no official plans. Maybe a bowl preview for all the bowls for football. Maybe some more stuff talking about 2019, some big storylines there. Obviously, any breaking news that happens, that'll go in there. But yeah, let's get into it. So first up, the Daytona 500. Denny Hamlin won the Daytona 500. His second career Daytona 500. Won it for Joe Gibbs Racing. First race without J.D. Gibbs, Joe Gibbs' son, passing away. And Denny Hamlin's 11 car, I believe, was J.D. Gibbs' car. So that was a big deal for them. And they got 1, 2, 3 in that race. So that was an emotional win for Joe Gibbs and that team. A really big deal. Obviously, the biggest race of the season, the Daytona 500. Winning it as a team, obviously, is a big deal. But also the emotional backstory to it. And then, obviously, finishing 1, 2, 3. That is also another big emotional headline. So, big deal for them. Big deal for that team. And that was the start off to a great season for Joe Gibbs Racing and Denny Hamlin. Joe Gibbs Racing ended up having 19 wins in the season. Denny Hamlin had 5 or 6, I believe. Next up, we went to Atlanta. Atlanta, mile-and-a-half race. Brad Keselowski won it. I remember Truex chasing down Keselowski at the end there, but he couldn't quite get past him. But yeah, not much about Atlanta that happened. Las Vegas, Brad Keselowski was chasing down teammate Joey Logano. Joey Logano was able to get the win, his first win to defend his title. He was not able to defend his title, but he was able to get an early win in the season to lock himself in the playoffs. We've seen bad luck with Logano before, where he has missed the playoffs, actually, back in 2017. So, yeah, we saw that happen. First time I think Logano ever won without the red and yellow Pennzoil car. Or, yeah, I think he's won in different sponsors, but he's never won in a Pennzoil car without the yellow and red. I can't tell you which races he's won in, but you get my point. He has not won a lot outside that car with Penske. Next up, ISM Raceway. I missed that race. I was not able to watch that race. I missed 2 or 3 races this year, and that was one of them. I just know Kyle Busch won. That's about all I know. Next up was Auto Club. Auto Club was a big deal. Kyle Busch won it. Not only was it a win for him, but it was his 200th win across the 3 series, Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series. So it was a big deal for NASCAR history, peoples, and just anyone in general that cared. 200 wins. I made a video about it comparing his 200 to Richard Petty's 200 and talked about how they were different and how they were both incredible accomplishments for both drivers, and how you may hate on Kyle Busch, you may hate, I haven't heard a lot of hate on Richard Petty, but you just got to respect the talent that they both had and the skill set that they were able to get that done. So, yeah, that was a big deal. Kyle Busch got the 200 flag, started waving that sucker around. Can't think of anything else other than that after that weekend. Martinsville races, both of them, kind of, for Martinsville standpoint, they kind of sucked. Spring race, we'll talk about that now. We'll go to the fall race later. But Brad Keselowski absolutely dominated this race. Led over 450 laps, I believe, and won the race, even though he had Chase Elliott chasing him down at the end there. Keselowski was able to hold him off, and that started the debate of short tracks and these spoilers. The short tracks and just the horsepower and the spoilers and all this car stuff. And it started all big discussion now. NASCAR's testing out a bunch of different stuff with the next-gen car that I talked about. But, yeah, I'll talk about that stuff at the end of the video. Texas Motor Speedway. Denny Hamlin was able to get the win there, and big win for him. His second on the season at that point. Not much to talk about there. Spring Bristol race. Kyle Busch won it. Not much I can think of there, so tell me in the comments if you can think of anything. Richmond, Martin Truex Jr. was finally able to get himself a short track win. His first career short track win happened in this spring at Richmond Raceway, and he was able to get a couple more short track wins this season. He was able to get another Richmond. He swept Richmond. He was able to get a Martinsville win as well, and that was just 3 of his 7 or 8 wins this year. He had a lot of wins this year. to help Joe Gibbs with that record-breaking season. Talladega, oh, great race. Both Talladega races were awesome. I was able to be at one of one, not the spring one, but the fall one. If you have not seen those videos yet, my reaction to Blaney's finish, the vlogs, you need to go check those out. I don't know if I'm going to put them up here, but you can go there in a playlist, my NASCAR playlist or my vlogs playlist. I got multiple playlists. You can go check those out, see how those are doing. Go check it out. Go see how much fun I had and why you should go to a NASCAR race. It's fun stuff. But the Talladega Spring Race, Chase Elliott got the win, his first win of the season, his first restrictor, even though it's not a restrictor plate anymore, his first super speedway win of his career. He was able to hold off his teammate Alex Bowman. Him and Alex Bowman went through a nice little stretch here. Elliott had 6 or so top 5s in a row. Alex Bowman with a few second place finishes in a row. So Team Hendrick Motorsports had a good little stretch here before the summer slump happened to them, but really good race with them overall. The race itself was really good. Ty Dillon, I forgot to mention this at Bristol, but Ty Dillon won a couple stages. He won one at Bristol, held off Clint Boyer, and then he won one at Talladega. So Ty Dillon, shout out to you for getting some stage wins. That's a big deal right there. But yeah, Chase Elliott was able to get that win, lock himself into the playoffs early. And then the next week at Dover, he got the pole, got a top 5, led a bunch of laps, and that started a nice little top 5 streak for him. Dover, Martin Truex Jr. was able to pick up the victory, his second of the season. He's won at Dover a few times in the past, so him winning at Dover was not too much of a surprise because of how good he is there. That was another race I missed this season. Kansas was a pretty darn good race. Alex Bowman had a shot to get his first career win. Brad Keselowski was able to get around him late and win that race. But overall, I remember that was a pretty solid race. Not the greatest race ever or anything. Not the best race of 2019, but it was a solid race, especially for a Kansas race. Kansas had some really good races in the past, but I think this one was up there. It was a solid race. Charlotte, the All-Star race, Kyle Larson won $1 million. I don't remember much. I think I missed like the first half of the race, but I remember Kyle Larson winning $1 million. Coca-Cola 600. Truex made a 4-wide pass for the lead late in that race with like 4 to go and was able to get himself a win. His second career Coca-Cola 600 win. And so at this point, Joe Gibbs with the first 2 crown jewels of the season, able to get that and get some big wins. Joe Gibbs with a lot of wins at this point. Pocono. Kyle Busch was able to get a win at Pocono, and we would not see him win again until Homestead. Who would have guessed that? No one. I don't think anyone would have, but he did it. He freaking won Pocono, waited a few months, and won at Homestead to win the championship. Impressive. Michigan won. Michigan won. Okay, well, I'm having some trouble remembering this. Let's see who won this one. That's not a good sign. I can't remember that. That must have been a sucky race. Joey Logano won. Oh, I remember that finish now. Kurt Busch was right on Joey Logano's tail, but because you don't have to drive it all at that track, he had no shot to get to the back bumper or try to pull a slide job on him because he just floored it the whole way around. There's my opinion. Sonoma, Martin Truex Jr. won. I remember it was for a road course. It was kind of a sucky race, to be honest. It was really spread out. It's kind of like an F1 race, to be honest. I was like, yeah, you got some racing in there, you got some passing, but for a NASCAR race, it just wasn't a great race. So something's gonna happen there. And they reopened the carousel. I forgot what it was called for a second, but that was reopened. Chicagoland, Alex Bowman got his first career win. He has finished every single position from positions 1 to 43 in a NASCAR Cup car. That's impressive, and it's also not impressive because you finished 43rd, 42nd, 41st, 40th, whatever. But you were able to get 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So, impressive and not impressive at the same time. And this is where we get to the shocker. Spire Motorsports and Justin Haley won before Stewart-Haas Racing did in 2019. That was the biggest shocker of the year. I think it's safe to say that Justin Haley winning at Daytona was the biggest shocker of the year. If you would have guessed Justin Haley would have won in the Cup Series in Spire Motorsports car in 2019, you are a prophet and you know something that we don't, and you are from the future. So I don't know what else to say. That was a crazy race. Kurt Busch was going to win, and then he pitted, and then he didn't win, and then he was pissed off. But then he won the next week at Kentucky, so he's still got to win this season. But he fell off in the playoffs. New Hampshire, Kevin Harvick finally got a win for Stewart Haas Racing. It took him a while. Inspire Motorsports won before them, but Kevin Harvick finally did it. He finally won a race in 2019. An incredible finish at New Hampshire. Denny Hamlin tried to move Harvick in turn 1, didn't move him enough. Harvick was able to get back around him side by side through 3 and 4. Harvick moved up the track, moved him just a tad, and was able to get to the finish line first for his first win in 2019, his first of many. Next week at Pocono, Denny Hamlin was able to get another win on the season as he started to heat up heading into the playoffs. So a big win for him. Watkins Glen, Chase Elliott dominated that race. Had Martin Truex Jr. chasing him down once again, just like his first career win in 2018. Elliott got his second win of the season there. Michigan 2, Kevin Harvick won. I think it was a fuel mileage race. That was another race I missed. I think it was a fuel mileage race. Keyword think. And then we come to Bristol. One of the most news-filled, dramatic, emotional weekends of the year, in my opinion. Why, you may ask? During that week, it was announced that Matt DiBenedetto would not be returning to the number 95 in 2020. Matt DiBenedetto, one of his best tracks is Bristol. Got a top 10 in BK racing car. Has run there historically. Qualified well. Had been running really well the second half of the season, really. Had been getting top 5s at road courses. Some top 10s at tracks like New Hampshire. I think he got one at Watkins Glen. Like, as I said, road courses. Shorter tracks are his specialty, especially in that car. He was doing pretty well up to this point. He had been really inconsistent all year. He had dominated the day. Well, not dominated, but he led a lot of laps at the Daytona 500. He had been having an up and down year. Top 5s, as I said, at Sonoma, New Hampshire, Watkins Glen, I believe. So he had an up and down year, and they said, well, we got a guy moving up, Christopher Bell, and we're going to replace you with him. And so Matt DiBenedetto was like, I need a ride. I'm going to work my butt off to try to get it. And oh, did he. He qualified really good. He ran really good the whole race, was able to position himself at the end of the race that he was leading the last 90 laps or so. Then Ryan Newman happened. Ryan Newman, those damn lap cars. Made some contact and tightened up the car. Denny Hamlin was able to catch up to him. I'm not saying that Ryan Newman is a problem. I think Hamlin would have still caught up to him, but I don't think he would have caught up to him at the pace he was going. I think DiBenedetto would have still won that race if it wasn't for that contact because his car was really good. Just really good car. And Matt DiBenedetto ended up finishing second, his best career effort with lap sled and with finishing result. And he ended up missing the playoffs, but a very good run for him. And he was able to prove himself, and he got himself a shot. Paul Menard announced his retirement, and he told the Wood brothers, he said, hey, go after Matt DiBenedetto, and they did. And Matt DiBenedetto will be driving the 21 next year, so that's a really cool story. Also, he shouted me out. Well, in a sense, Talladega had this thing. They said, Matt DiBenedetto is here. Send us a video clip. And let's see if Matt DiBenedetto responds. And he did. He responded to my thing. I was wearing this hat in the video. I was so happy. And he said my name, too, which made it even better. But to Matt DiBenedetto, I hope you see this. And I hope that you're having a great day, first of all. And I just want to say that I have gained a lot of respect for you over the past few weeks. And that I've just been impressed with how you've handled your whole situation. And that I hope the best for you. That you are able to get a competitive ride in the future in the Cup Series, which I do. I know that's going to happen because you've shown your talent, your skill set, not just this year but in years past, getting top 10 in the BK racing car, contending for wins in this 95 car, that you have the talent and skill set to go and win some races and compete. So I hope the best for you. I really do wish the best for you. I hope you can win Talladega this year because I might be there, and that'd be cool to see you win in person. But I just want to say best of luck to you. And
Nikolai, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Hope we do see you here at Talladega at the race, but I appreciate it. And it has been quite the crazy journey of climbing the ladder to get here, but it's been a fun one, and hopefully I think everything will work out great where I can continue to contend for wins and get a lot of wins for many years to come.
Yeah, that's why Matt DiBenedetto is one of my favorite drivers now. I don't have his shirt in this room right now, but I have a Matt DiBenedetto shirt right now. He's one of my favorite drivers in the Cup Series. He's just an overall nice guy, overall great guy. And and he's also a pretty dang good driver who deserves an opportunity. I'm really looking forward to see what he can do in that 21 car next year. Darlington, Eric Jones was the only Joe Gibbs Racing driver to not have a win by this point, and he finally got it done. Joe Gibbs 3 for 3 at this point in the Crown Jewel races, and then Indy happened, and Kevin Harvick dominated and ended that Joe Gibbs dominance, and the playoffs were set. Shocking stuff happened. Ryan Newman in a Roush Fenway racing car made the playoffs. 7-time champion who has never missed the playoffs for the first time in his career, Jimmy Johnson, missed the playoffs. All 4 Stuart Haas cars made it. I'm just kidding. 3 of the 4 made it. Daniel Suarez missed the cut, but the other 3, Kevin Harvick off of wins, Clint Boyer off of points, Eric Almirola off of points, made it to the playoffs. All 4 Joe Gibbs Racing drivers made it off of wins. 3 of the 4 Hendrick cars made it in. Byron off points, Bowman and Elliott off of wins. Who else made the playoffs? Man, I can't remember. I'm kind of blanking out. I think I went through them all. No, there's no way I went through them all. We got the Haas. Oh, yeah. Chip Ganassi, both his cars made it in. Kurt Busch off of win. Kyle Larson off of points. Ryan Blaney made it in off of points. Keselowski, Logano off of wins. We had a 16-car playoff field, and we went to Las Vegas. Martin Truex Jr. picks up that win, gets himself some nice momentum, locks himself into the round of 12, adds some playoff points. Richmond, Martin Truex Jr. once again got a big win, added some playoff points, kept someone else out of that round of 12. Then we went to the Roval, the much-anticipated Roval, and one driver missed turn 1. And you may be thinking, holy crap, he missed turn 1. That must have ended his playoff chances. Nope. He came back and won the freaking race. Chase Elliott won the Roval in the second ever Roval race. After that miscue on lap 60-ish, I don't know what lap it was, but he came back and won the freaking race. 4 drivers were eliminated from that round. Ryan Newman was holding that last spot, but missed the backstretch chicane and had to come to a complete stop, but he didn't. He ended up taking a penalty and missed the playoffs. Him, Eric Almirola, Eric Jones, and Kurt Busch, I believe, missed the first round of the playoffs. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I know for a fact Newman. Newman and Kurt, I know for a fact, missed the first or second round. I think the other 2 were Jones and whoever I said, Almirola. But correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, that was the Roval. We went on to Dover. Chase Elliott, freaking 5 laps into the race, had a mechanical failure. Like his engine blew up. Joey Logano had to go behind the wall before the race even started. Bad start to the round there. Who won that race? Kyle Larson finally ended that long winless streak of his, got himself a win, locked himself into the round of 8. The first time in his career he made the round of 8. Very big deal for Chip Ganassi. Talladega, best race of the year. By far, everything was in there. Playoff drama, good racing, 3 wide racing, guys leading that you wouldn't expect. Huge wrecks. Brendan Gaughan freaking flipped, and then Ryan Blaney won it by literally like that much. He won it by like a quarter inch. Like he barely won, and I was there to witness this, and that you gotta go check out. Best race I've ever been to in person. Holy crap, what a finish. Holy crap, what a race. That's all I got to say on that. And then we went to Kansas. Kansas, the playoff drama was through the roof. Chase Elliott entered the race 20 points below the cutoff line, was able to make that up with stage points, and he was able to get himself a second-place finish to get him in, and Brad Keselowski faded on that last restart, went from 3 points in to 3 points out, just like that, and he was eliminated. My championship pick was eliminated. And then Martinsville. But Truex won. That's about it. Nothing really happened there. Nothing happened there. Just nothing. Then we went to Texas. Texas, same thing. Not much happened there. Harvick won. So him and Truex are in the championship for. And then we went to ISM. Some more drama happened there. There was some drama there, let me tell you. Denny Hamlin, like 25 points below the cutoff line, won and clinched his spot in the championship 4. Kyle Busch and Joey Logano were tied, and Joey Logano just dropped like a rock, and Kyle Busch advanced, and Kyle Busch won the championship at Homestead. 2019 recapped. Let's go. Took 19 minutes according to this thing up here. It might be done when I'm editing and stuff, but Kyle Busch and M&M's won. Go get yourself some M&M's in honor of Kyle Busch. But yeah, he won, and he is a champion, a 2-time champion. So how about that? Jimmy Johnson's retiring. I really don't have anything else to say about the 2019 season. But if I missed anything, please tell me in the comments if you made it this far. Thank you to every single one of you who watch, like, subscribe. We are freaking killing it these last few months. We're up to 491 subscribers. High five, interwebs. Thank you for that. It's been a long journey, but it's been a fun one. We have been going at it for a while now, and we've been working at it. I don't know what else to say, but numbers are going up, views are going up, which is good. So thank you everyone who watches, and then subscribing has gone up. We're almost to halfway to 1,000. That's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. So keep subscribing, keep watching, keep sharing. Thank you for that. If you like this video, obviously leave it a big fat like, and then subscribe and share and all that fun stuff.